YouTube, let's talk about the older brother, okay? Within the whole game, that is domestic violence, okay? Now, before you fucking say anything, I want to hear shit. I want to hear anything about, collaboration. I want to hear, anything about me being a victim. Because the very first thing, when I point into him face, is saying, domestic violence is what happened when you threw that knife to me, okay? That's it. I don't care how much you hear TJ and not understand TJ. Look at top of other TJs in the shows. On top of Timothy's De La Ghettos, okay? This is not a comedy video, I repeat. This is not a comedy video. This is about the older brother in society, okay? And the reason why he is so difficult is because he held on to society beforehand. You see how you're latching on to things like Jollibee and stupid shit? No, he literally held on to society beforehand. And what that means is he started playing basketball, he started doing all the shit, he started living animated. That's like the Laffy Taffy way before you started thinking, okay? And what that means is literally... And the crazy part about that is when he goes third, he owes all to society more than his older brothers. And what you don't understand about that is that the older brothers are more than a pretty thing is selling drugs. And he's actually, staying in a house with his trophies, putting art for mom, recognizing society as society, okay? Now, I'm not going to go into, why Chris is either, good or bad. He's just my brother. That's how I feel. At this time, really, when it comes to every mainstream celebrity's brother, Ja Rule's brother, 50 Cent's brother, that's just my brother, okay? And the reason why it fucking sucks is because he's older. He's a part of you. He's a part of your DNA. Really, he is music and soul child when you try to chill and relax and listen to Wyclef Jean, okay? Now, the reason why he's so difficult, the reason why every brother is very difficult, it's because it goes like this. When the younger brother holds on to society, he starts seeing things how you finally see things in reverse, literally way on beforehand. It shows when him and the uncle face off, because what he does is he calls out the uncle's mentality, and the uncle calls out being older. So what that does is that he calls out your uncle for having a disability, all right? He called out literally that fucking, your uncle was retarded, basically. He's like, I'm seeing everything literally, well, I'm just fucking 14, I'm already fucking driving, it's gonna take you forever to fucking drive. Literally, he's like controlling your facial reaction, every reaction has a reaction, literally. So the uncle, has it, like how I stepped, the uncle has it, literally, and he challenges to death for your fight, all right? And so, what you don't understand is that literally, that's why I played Dustin Disgusted versus the Ice-T song, so you can recognize that he held on to society beforehand, all right? Now this topic of this video was driven by that guy Defenders, okay? Because, that One Piece theme song was the hardest thing to break with Chris's tree. Everybody wants to say to my family is the Megalodon, in response. But what they did was they repulsed how smart I was, literally. Had me go to the most turmoil and shit and maybe recognize that situation wasn't changing every single day, okay? Now, in doing so, how much you want to bar me up with the biggest lesson is consistency, all right? What happened externally, to Chris is that I never thought that I was gonna beat his theme song, alright? So it's gonna be another video about me and anime, about why anime is retarded, because I obviously did something, literally. I'm not afraid to say it, with the Sakamoto days uploaded, everything, I obviously did something to anime, to the point they stopped making it literally at a dripped out basis and at a consistent basis, okay? And that's pretty important. Because what I wanted to do is I tried to, hashtag it for subs, and NASA wouldn't let me do it. NASA would not let me, make that video in general for everybody, all right? They do not allow me to take serious criticism, so they want me to go with flow, right? I already told you what the problem with flow is, okay? Now, when it comes to the actual, theme song, One Piece, I never thought that I was going to defeat it. So when I did, I wasn't able to absorb it, and mom was there, all right? So, when that happened, okay, I thought about it, literally, and people want me to mention this, and I don't care. I couldn't absorb the graphics because of the fucking ARL, but I could, at heart, so I'm like, they don't exist. I'm like, until they match something like able-bodied, I'm not gonna, acknowledge the ARL, okay? Now, what comes down to it, where it comes down, critically to it. The reason why you're a dumbass really in society is because you don't allow a friend to be a friend. You don't allow an uncle to be an uncle. You don't allow a brother to be your brother. You know why? They use the brother, for government experimentation, literally, because he keeps his eyes open, when the younger brothers complain about girls, saying that, oh, you have your whole life, you're the train for girls, this and that. A scientist is sick. He's analyzing what's keeping them content. What's keeping them content is that he goes to a blood meeting. He has to leave and keep his dick intact. It's true. It's very true because of the fact that why he's so multidimensional comes from him playing sports, doing or showing up, Big Mama, etc. And it's true. It's very fucking true. So when he's growing up with these things, lately your allies think you're calling the brother crazy, actually, for not putting two together. That's why they reward, not for not putting two together, but they don't understand that he doesn't have standard. He doesn't understand that literally the little brother is, up for a retard. And that he can't rise up to challenges because, nobody motivates when he was younger. I already talked about that He-Man problem. Literally, you know how I told Mr. Pleasure, literally, I can do the homework regular, and I just need some He-Man. I need something to motivate. That's why I want a girlfriend. You see how you want a girlfriend, to motivate you? Literally, instead of, a girlfriend as a responsibility. And these sick people, I don't know if there's some teachers that are American, literally are double implying with the outside and double implying how domestic violence actually is, so what they're saying, down the line, is they're trying to say that literally what you were doing in high school is better than what you were doing when you're able-bodied. And you're yelling bullshit, okay? You're yelling bullshit because the ARO, because of the truth, all right? It's everything at once, all right? And it's passion. And plus it's two together. Like the way I draw knives, the way I draw everything, that's going to be a separate video, all together. But the truth and the reality of this video is that they're dumbasses because they make somebody like your brother have the skills of a doctor, literally have somebody dissect the situation, have somebody literally have more intellect in the situation, and you think that he's just an easy pushover in the hood. They make you do everything for this motherfucker, and then you say, oh, I use your yelling to call out his sexual assault. I use your yelling to call out his cause and effect. Well, he's as strong as a fucking doctor. And it's stupid. That's how that government is. And that's why, literally, you didn't get along with Andre. Literally, our friend is a fucking friend. Our friend is stimulation. That's why I fought for two and two together where it comes to literally friendships, relationships, and linear perspective, okay? It's not good. It's not good at all because, literally, we don't have the real government. We don't have, literally, things going two and two together. So what happens, literally, when we're put in a one-tone society or the one-tone activates, literally, is your brother has an excuse from playing basketball and going missing for all those years to when he knows what they tell you, literally, in an intense, condensed situation, okay? So it's not good. It's not good at all because what you're doing is you're not letting somebody have a full life and somebody sitting on their ass NASA all day does not want to understand that a nerd was slowly progressing when it came to getting girls, okay? So it's very important because back when I was in high school in anime, you can talk about all the characters and with things like the ARO, the government regulates shit. So when it comes to government regulating shit with the ARO, they actually made anime horrible for people because they locked them in a prison mentality to the point literally where anime became full-on retarded. Alright? So my open view of anime, oh, this character, is a girl that kind of looks like a guy, but I can still tell his family literally got kicked out the water because of them. That's how government works. There's some people in NASA that are winning the next battle that understand that they're sinister fucking people that manipulate the next battle for people. Literally. So, just remember, if you're a fan of Fortress, that means you need to have people to defend them, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Your mother is not your fucking mother, literally. So, it's true because the uncle and the nephew go through the same thing. The little one when they face off. So, yeah, so it doesn't matter if I call out that Chris comes from a dysfunctional family. That's why I'm content not having, a car at 30. Literally, so, it's true. What your brother does, literally, is he holds on to society so fucking much, literally, when he was younger, literally, Greek's Lord Sword, that he does things above your comprehension, all the way to the point where in the hood, literally, what you did was you starved, literally, your progression and your life, to a point where literally you're recognizing why nothing's going your way. Why don't you have a job? Why don't you have a car at 30? It's connected to what they said. And scientists don't believe it, Scientists want, keep on believing that this, and that. Literally, so, when teachers don't reply to outside, literally, how you came on the girls, how this, and that. Literally, instead of telling the truth, and they're connecting, me, especially being street smart but not being street smart all the way, that's one of them. A second one of them, literally, is my intuition, what my intuition revolves around. They do a whole bunch of that shit, literally. So it's like, man, you got to let it go. You got to let it go, literally. I used to be a bum in San Francisco. None of this shit is going to work on me. But you only hit me while I'm human. Which is not your goal, right? You want to be 100% like, literally, you're a in high school. You get caught fucking smoking. Literally, where he's like, I'm like UPS, pick and deliver. Literally, I'm like, why, you Michael Jackson to my house? Get the fuck out of here. So it's true. It's very fucking true. They double imply all that shit because they understand it's the entire war. They understand it's the entire mentality. And what they do was they indulge in their shit, and when you start standing up for yourself like me, they can't indulge in their shit, they can't get cocky, and they can't, have, unauthorized, unseemly wit, okay? So anyway, this is a quick video, so another thing is, the reason why I'm making these videos is because of flow, is because somebody is waiting for me to put on the right thing at the right time, literally not recognizing that it's been 6 years, so I'm just flowing at the top of the dome for an important video. This is your older brother video.